Hello, this is Babu Dasari, faculty with the Economics Department, Rutgers, Camden. Today I will be presenting about a topic very fascinating and interesting and mostly useful for you, all of you, that is a whiteboard and beyond for online, hybrid and site courses. So before getting on to my presentation, I just want to explain who I am. I am currently the faculty with Economics Department, Rutgers, Camden. I have been with this department from 2012. So prior to coming to Rutgers, Camden, I was with Temple University, and then prior to that, I was a consultant with Center for Advanced Study of India, which was a part of University of Pennsylvania from 2018 to 2010. And prior to that, I have been a consultant with the World Bank from 2005 to 2008. And prior to that, I have done a PhD in economics from 1998 to 2005. This is in brief about my background. Coming to the presentation quickly, so I would like to divide the presentation into five sections. One is, first I would like to give a background about myself, and then second I would like to talk about in search of appropriate technologies, problems and solutions. So when you want to do something online, especially for the courses like economics, statistics, mathematics, we use a lot of graphing. So in that context, how do you go about teaching? How do you give students a whiteboard experience? That is where I would how I went on searching for different technologies. What are the problems I encountered, and how did I solve them? That is what I will be discussing in this particular section. So then that is not enough. After identifying certain an appropriate technology, how do I integrate one or more technologies to give the best to my students? Sometimes one particular technology may not do everything. So you got to integrate one or two technologies to give the best to the students. So that is what I will be discussing here. And then I'll be talking something about the openness and adoption of changes in technologies. The technology world changes very rapidly, and we have to keep track of, keep an eye on what is really happening with these technologies. So then a quick recap of the whole presentation. We'll be doing that. So first, let me come to the background. So the background is in economics department, we started with these online courses as early as 2011. And then there is a surge in online courses by 2013. And when there are a lot of courses that were created by the part-time lecturers, PTLs, and there is no uniformity between courses, and some courses are decent, some courses are not in a not well structured, and there are a lot of issues. There is no uniformity, there are no and all that, and hence there were a lot of complaints to the dean's office regarding some of the courses. Then in that context, I was made the director of online education at the economics department, and I have been the director as the online director from 2013 to 2016. So the first and foremost thing is, I looked at different courses, and then I saw there are very different in terms of quality, structure, and in terms of their communication and all that stuff. So hence I developed a guidelines. The guidelines was aimed at the structure first, and then how should students how should the instructors communicate, and what should be the mode of communication, and then other kinds of aspects like the content and so on and so forth. When we started, I wanted to go step by step manner. I can't put everything on to the PTLs because they have their own limitations in terms of using the software and other kinds of stuff. So hence, I asked them to come up with follow a particular structure, uniform structure, week by week structure, and then and also making some discussion forums and the tests and so on and so forth mandatory. These many minimum number of tests they are supposed to have, and those kinds of things. The guidelines were well received at the department, and then everybody has followed. And then once many of the faculty followed these guidelines, and there were almost the complaints to the dean's office almost disappeared. And then as a second step, we wanted to do some original content. Original material should be put into these courses. Besides using the other material, outside material, there are some good videos of Khan Academy and other kinds of videos, and a faculty can use them. In addition to that, I'm talking about the way back in 2013, 2014. So then they have to develop certain videos. To develop some certain videos, the technology was not that great. And then we wanted to go step by step. Here I would like to bring to your attention in 2016, for fall 2016, I was asked to do a course in biostatistics for health professionals, and hence I was told in the spring 2016, and I have summer 2015 to do that. So statistics is a subject which I cannot just explain things, run the PowerPoints and give an audio or a video to that and all that stuff. So I have to give certain kind of a whiteboard experience. I have to sometimes draw the graphs. I have to show what a normal distribution would look like. A normal distribution would look like. And then though these are all the kinds of things which we would like to show the students graphically. And then how do I do that? And even for the courses like mathematics, we use a lot of graphs. For the courses like economics, we use a lot of graphs. So how do we go about for these courses? How do we produce some videos which give a whiteboard experience? So in that context, I was looking at the applications in the market, and then what gives the experience, and which application is better. And I have to do a SWOT analysis, which is generally used in business courses. SWOT means strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So we know the strengths and weaknesses part of it, and what are the opportunities. What if an application is coming from a big company, and then there is the likelihood of this particular company being in the market will be high. And if it is coming from a new venture, new small company, and then it can be bought by you see a lot of corporate mergers in mergers, acquisitions, and takeovers in IT industry. So a small company would likely to be taken over by some other company, and then we don't know that product is going to be there. After learning that particular product, particular application, it is going to be there or not, we don't really know. So in that context, we have to do some kind of a SWOT analysis. We got to really look at opportunities and threats. And so I came up with these four. There are a whole lot of applications which give a whiteboard kind of an experience. I came up with these four important ones. One is explain everything, and edu creations, notability, and show me. And I listed their pros and cons, And finally, I need a particular software which fits my fits my need, and also towards a to reach my pedagogical goals. So in that context, I tabulated it to some extent, like Explain Everything or Explain EDU, it is called. It has two versions. One is a professional version, the other one is uh, um, a smaller basic version. It has a lot of functions, and it is perfect for video production, editing, and all that. It has very, very nice. The one that I'm doing right now is Explain Everything, and I'm going to explain different functions of this. And but first of all, before explaining this, let me give an overview about different kinds of applications that are there in the market. And it gives you an advanced whiteboard experience, the Explain Everything, and then more efficient, more effort needed to learn, because it has several functions. It takes more time to learn, but it's not really huge, but it takes some amount of time. So the whole point here is Explain Everything. When I started, it was $4.99. It is one-time buy. That's a basic version, and there is also a corporate version. But you guys don't have to buy that. Initially it was $4.99 when I started buying this, and now when I looked at it, it is no more for $4.99. It is $13.99, and because it attracted a lot of people in academia, so a lot of instructors teach, and it became popular in teaching. So this tool is right now is one-time buy, that is $13.99. But it has a lot of advantages in terms of video production and teaching. And then coming to Edu Creations, it is Edu Creations, which is simple to use. Design is very intuitive, and it has limited functions as far as the video production is concerned. But unlike Explain Everything, you can easily learn this. It's very, very intuitive, as I said, and it works only on iOS devices, not on the Android and PCs. And coming to Notability, and Notability is also it gives you a whiteboard experience, but it is more used for note taking, and it has limited whiteboard experience and limited video production. So uh, I, I thought this is not my cup of coffee, and uh, right now the price of this is $8.99, and Edu Creations is $8.25, and this guy is $8.99. And then coming to Show Me is very simple, and it's a combination of Edu Creations. Explain Everything does a better job than Show Me in terms of video making, and hence I also ignored Show Me. And so there is a tussle between Edu Creations and Explain Everything, and I thought, I'm going to teach for a couple of more years, not couple of more. I'm going to teach for a long time until I retire. For educators, sometimes they don't want to retire, and because as you age and you become better at doing things and so on and so forth, you enjoy teaching. So I thought it's a good thing to invest some time in Explain Everything, and then rather than going for a simple thing, then I have chosen Explain Everything vis-a-vis the others. So that's how I did my SWOT analysis, and also these guys are there in a market for a while, and I thought these are going to be there. These are less vulnerable to any takeovers or mergers or acquisitions. Okay. Then demonstration of some of the basic functions of Explain Everything. This is where I would like to show you how I'm going to demonstrate this. So what I'm going to show is I'm going to take you back to the screen. The screen here is basically an iPad screen. And in an iPad screen, what I have done is I have chosen this Explain EDU. And to get these are the PowerPoints. I mean, how did I get these PowerPoints? And so there is something called a plus sign here, a plus sign here. I when I click on that, so I have an option called file, videos, and all that stuff. File. I choose a file. I have stored this particular file somewhere in Dropbox, so I choose a Dropbox, and then this is the file. I'm not going to choose it. I have already chosen that. I mean, I choose this, and then once I chose that, I will be getting these PowerPoint slides onto my screen like this. So uh, all I do is I have my PowerPoint slides in a cloud account like a Dropbox or my Google Drive or whatever. So all I do is I just press this particular sign and file, and then get my PowerPoint here. So once I have this PowerPoint here, I have these slides. They can be put in only one slide, one frame, or they can be put as different slides. I have chosen to put them in different slides here. So I have sixth slide. This is my seventh slide. I can also insert a slide here by using this particular plus sign. So, and I can also record this video and upload it, and um, I can do a lot of editing and so on and so forth. And those are all some functions. So let's try to look at how do I insert my file. I mean, I think I explained that. How do I insert? I just go to this plus one, and then choose my file which is in my cloud account, and I choose a file, and it is there in some account, and it automatically comes into this application. So then how do I write? I mean, the way I write is very simple, and you see this is my hand. With the hand, all I can do is I can just, I can zoom it or zoom in. Just all I'm using is my fingers. With my fingers I'm doing this, and then what am I going to do? I can draw, write, and all that, and especially for the courses like economics. And I'm not going to teach you economics here, but I would like to show you the power of this. So in economics, you guys know the demand and supply, and the way we learn economics is their intuition and graphs and empirical. With the data, we would like to say the same story. So intuition is basically when price increases, quantity demanded decreases. We are trying to capture the behavior of a consumer. So we would like to put that in graphs. That is, say we have quantity, and this guy is price. I want to draw a demand like this. Demand curve would look like this, because there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity. Likewise, I would like to show a supply curve like this, and the intersection point is called the equilibrium, and so on and so forth. I can keep explaining the whole story of economics like this. So likewise, if I am doing some mathematics, I would like to show a quadratic equation would look like this. Ax square plus bx plus c is my quadratic equation. So which is say 6x square plus 10x plus 5, maybe an equation, a quadratic equation, and so on and so forth. So that are all the whole things we have, and we can insert a new slide. The way to insert a new slide is just, press plus here, and that would insert a new slide, and this is my next slide, and this is my previous slide, the inserted slide, and this is the slide that I'm currently working with you guys. And then there can be I can capture a video, as I said. I can press this button, and then this can become a video, a very beautiful video without these icons here. And when I make a video, all these things will disappear. It is completely the white screen, the screen with PowerPoint and whatever I write, and it looks more beautiful than what you see right now. And then I can duplicate a slide. If I want, I can duplicate this particular slide, and I can record, edit, upload, and all that stuff. And one more important thing I would like to bring here is so I can, as I said, I can minimize these guys. I can place these guys anywhere. I can adjust my story, and if I want to write some more, I can do all that stuff. And mostly I can add my picture here when I'm doing the presentation. So all these things are possible. Okay. So then when I started my journey with this in 2015, and so there is no Apple Pencil like this that time, and Apple Pencil came in late 2015. So I was using Adjoint Jot Pro verse 1, and which is a little difficult to write on the screen. And then now, thanks to iPencil, which is very smooth and which takes care of many things. And when I'm teaching courses like statistics, we use a lot of TI-84 calculator, and the TI-84 calculator can be just brought to here, because earlier it was not compatible with the iPad, and now you have an application similar to TI-84, which you can always insert and show the students when you're solving problems and so on and so forth. And for the synchronous courses, earlier I use WebEx for my synchronous courses. We have WebEx or Zoom, and WebEx was not compatible earlier, was not integrated with iPad, and so I have to use a roundabout way of mirroring iPad to MacBook, and then doing the synchronous presentation. Now, thanks to the advancements in technology, and WebEx can be directly played on iPad, and which makes our things very simple. That is one of the reasons why you got to observe what is really happening, what are the developments that are taking place around in the same technology. So now coming to the openness to adoption and changes in technology, as I said, so there is always a lot of technology taking place around you. So that's why you just keep an eye on them, like the way I kept an eye on Pencil. iPencil came up, and then there is something called WebEx became compatible with iPad, and so I can run a synchronous course, because the reason is explain everything can be done only on iPad, not on a MacBook, because you cannot write on the screen. So that's why if WebEx for running a synchronous course, if WebEx becomes compatible with iPad, then I can use my explain everything for my synchronous courses. So that is the beauty of it. And in fact, I mean, the whole of this semester I did explain everything for my synchronous courses, and which went really wonderful. And evaluate your technologies. And one more interesting thing I would like to tell you is, when you're doing using this explain everything for your site courses, face-to-face courses, and you have a podium, and you sometimes you just don't, you are not comfortable just, I mean, standing at the podium. Sometimes you want to move around here and there, and then what happens is your voice gets up and low, and there will be ups and downs in your voice. So that's not good. Hence, thanks to AirPods, you see these AirPods, and AirPods just solve that particular problem. Even you can keep moving in the class, and then the voice will be really fantastic. And then you can use your explain everything app, your iPad with the explain everything app in your side courses also. Okay. And then finally, you are the best judge for yourself, and you will know which technology works better and which technology doesn't work better. And some of the my responses from course survey responses tell us what is happening, and how this is the technology working or not, and they students are going to comment on those technologies and so on and so forth. And while using all these technologies, and don't become a technology savvy, and finally our ultimate goal is to really aim at the pedagogical goals. That is very, very important. Do not lose track of your pedagogical goals. And only thing is, all this technology is just a facilitator, and towards achieving the pedagogical goals. And if I look at my after I have adopted this video making with this explain everything, and some of the comments that I got from my students are as follows. I mean, they say video watching made things very easy, and it is very informative, and so on and so forth. These are the nice nice comments that I got from students, especially with reference to computation. So for the computational questions, they want to really understand the process, to understand the process for the graphs, computations, and so on and so forth. This explain everything is really helps a lot. I mean, I'm not really promoting explain everything. You have a whole lot of other applications, and I have chosen explain everything for my explain edu, or explain everything for my purpose. But you have edu creations and notability and show me and all those kinds of other kinds of applications also, whichever really fits you well, and you can always choose that. Okay. Then a quick recap of what we have done is, we have shortlisted the technologies, and we have identified a technology that serves better for you. And while shortlisting, we use a SWOT analysis and invest some time in learning. And we got to see, we know what we want to get, what should be the output. Sometimes one particular technology or one app doesn't show the path towards what we want. But I mean, in that case, you have to integrate one or two technologies, and also watch for any updates in technology, because sometimes you may be having some kind of hurdles to achieve your pedagogical goals, and things so over a period of time get solved with the advancements in technology. And finally, remember that the technology is just a facilitator towards your pedagogical goals. And finally, I would like to acknowledge my students. Always students come first, because they always are the ones who make you learn. And then also, once they appreciate the technology, and I am so enthused to really learn much more of these technologies, and so on and so forth. And of course, my instructional designers at Rutgers, Rutgers University Camden, Emily, Christy, and Carly. I mean, they are so helpful, and they have contributed a lot to my understanding of technology. And of course, my kids, my Varsha, which is my daughter, and who is in the 10th grade, and my son, who is in the 5th grade, Hitesh. and both of them teach me some cool tricks. Like, I mean, sometimes these guys are wonderful in the sense, like, I mean, they know a lot, much more than what I do, as far as iPad is concerned. So I learn from them sometimes. I mean, yeah. I do things in roundabout way, and sometimes, I mean, they show me the shortcuts, and that's where the present generation of kids are. We should tap their knowledge. Okay, and then last but not the least, audience who are watching this, and but for you, and whatever I present, it's meaningless, and it is all for you, and I dedicate this presentation to the audience. And finally, if you have any questions, you're most welcome to send me an email. I'm happy to respond to your emails. And my email is Babu Dasari at Rutgers.edu. Hope you have enjoyed this presentation. Thank you very much.